Everybody, welcome into the 2-minute drill. We just finished the lightning round here with Ryan Day and then a handful of the Buckeye players. Again, Stephen Leonard is back, Buckeye backers, and Saturday Camps. We're doing another collab, so get ready for more of this. Again, 2-minute drill. So we had Coach Day first. Stephen, what stood out to you from Coach Day? There was a lot more Purdue talk today than at his press conference yesterday.
Really, Ryan Day said, he wasn't really worried about what they do on defense, but he is aware of it. So he knows that they're multiple on defense. He knows that they've been in close games the last two weeks that they've gone out on the field. And up in Michigan, I think that was a big selling point for this team is real. Even though they might not have a good record, it's a real team and someone that you have to have a little bit of worry about because they can keep anyone in a game. Obviously in Ann Arbor, taking Michigan to the brink. Michigan's not a bad team. So that means this Purdue team can hang with anyone any given Saturday. And we all know what happens in West Lafayette. Ohio State doesn't have a good record there. I mean, as a well-ranked team.
Yeah, it's the house of horrors, kind of, as I like to call it. They're going to West Lafayette anytime you go there. But another thing Ryan Day said, too, was that Purdue's getting better. He said, you look at their record, you see that, but he's like, that football team's getting better every single week. And Ryan Day also is very complimentary of Barry Odom. He had a lot to say, very high praise for him. He respects everything that he does as a coach defensively there, and even talked about a potential opportunity here, but that was a couple of years ago. So that just shows the respect that Ryan Day has for a guy like Barry Odom.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting to hear him say, because if Ryan Day is saying that, this guy's a good coach. If he was like on the list having conversations like, hey, when we get an opening, maybe you can come over here is kind of how I took it. So they were planning for the future at that point. So this is a good team. This is a good defensive team. It's just going to be a scrappy team. It's not a team that has a good record. We've said that before. It was kind of like the Penn State. There's players there. There's talent there. It is the Big Ten, so there's going to be a good team.
That's true. And the spread's 29.5. So again, you're looking at that. Ohio State's they're a heavy favorite. Like they should just handle business. That's going to be a business trip for them. That's what you need to do. Play sound football. Don't turn the ball over. Don't get hurt. Just get out there, play your game.
Ohio State is good against the spread.
That's true. They are. They haven't not covered since the Michigan game last year.
Yeah.
But Julian Sayin also came to the table right afterwards. And again, he was complimentary of Ryan Day. So again, what we're going to do, they talked about individual awards. They were trying to get some Heisman talk in there, and a lot of the praise was going right back to the team. He said, this is a team sport here. This is a team. He actually talked about Jeremiah Smith instead of himself.
Correct.
And then talked about Ryan Day being a great quarterback coach. He said he's an elite quarterback coach. That was part of the reason why he wanted to come here. And any time that Ryan Day is talking, we're listening. And that's Julian Sayin saying that.
For sure. So I tried to flip the script on him a little bit and ask him about his run, because that third down run, I was like, so I asked him about that. He did answer that. And he kept his jersey clean, and he did talk about how the offensive line and his wide receivers were helping him get to the point where he could keep his jersey clean. But let's be honest, the way he moves in the pocket, the way he ran on that third down, he's keeping his jersey clean too, and getting the ball out fast has been phenomenal. I mean, that's why he's number one on the Heisman list. He didn't want to talk about it, but we made him talk about it a little bit today.
Right. You kind of have to. And then even taken away from that Penn State game, we saw those three big throws, one to Jeremiah Smith, two to Carnell Tate. But that play that you talked about with him running the ball, extending that drive on a third down, that was one of the more underrated plays of the game. Because of that reason, also, you see Julian Sayin, he's completing 80% of his passes. We're talking about his arm. We're talking about the receivers. Well, part of a quarterback's game is his legs. And if you have a quarterback who's willing to do that, willing to get it on the ground, something Dwayne Haskins didn't do until late in his career. C.J. Stroud didn't really do a lot until Georgia. And then to see Julian Sayin do that in a game at home against Penn State, just knowing the spot, him talking about, hey, my legs are a part of this game too, and I have to use them, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the first down, and that's what he did. Correct. So you know what? There was great coverage on the backside. He got it with his legs. That was really great to see from the young quarterback here.
Absolutely. And one thing that you want to point out is it's on tape.
Right.
It's on tape that he can make you miss. So the defense has to adjust for that. He's not just a guy that's dropping bombs all over the field. He can run around you. He can make you miss, and he can get that first down when he needs to. So that's just another thing that we have to do. So we got the 2-minute drill is apparently almost over because we got the whistle already. So we're just, clock is running down. What else do you got to say?
We're going to run the actual 2-minute offense now. So we had Caden McDonald and Jermaine Matthews too, and a big theme for them was Matt Patricia. How personable he is as a coach. He's busting on Caden McDonald a lot because he's a Falcons fan, and obviously Matt Patricia won the Super Bowl with the Patriots, and they got to talk there because they came back and won. So he's busting on him a little bit there. But they just talked about how much of a family coach he is. He's involved in their lives. He likes to mess around with them, but he always checks in on them too. How's your family doing? How are your academics doing? This is more than just football here. And I know you hear that with a lot of coaches. You want it to always be more than football, but it's another thing to actually have those coaches be involved in your day-to-day life to that level. And you see it from the outside. The Matt Patricia is really personable, and he's involved, and the players love him. They gravitate toward him. but it's really cool to hear the players say that too.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a breath of fresh air compared to what there was last year when Jim Knowles wasn't as really a personal guy, but he got the job done and won the national title with that defense, best defense in the country. Now we got it again, but we got a personal guy, so great.
Right.
We're going to have to wrap this up.
Yeah, and
until later. If you got more, we got 5 seconds left.
The last thing I was going to say, there's just different coaching styles, and you see a more personal, relational style from Matt Patricia, and that's been a great thing for this Ohio State defense. Again, #1 team in the country, coming in the playoff rankings last night. But guys, thank you for tuning into the 2-minute drill. Make sure you're checking out Stephen Leonard and the Buckeye Backers on their podcast and platforms. We'll have this out to you guys soon. Again, God bless.
God bless. Take care.